Hey everyone, this is Russ from Retro Game Core. So today I'm going to show you how to play the Android game Among Us on your Retroid Pocket 2. Now this is primarily a touchscreen interface game, so it's not very easy to play on Retroid Pocket 2, but we figured out a way to make it work with the buttons that are on the device itself. You have to use an app called Octopus, which basically configures the buttons to match the touchscreen controls. So I didn't figure this out on my own. I actually tried to do this in an earlier video and I couldn't get it to work. So shout out to a YouTube user named ETLandXOXO. They were able to crack the code on this. So check out their channel. They have lots of cool Retroid Pocket 2 videos if you have any other questions and whatnot. So without any further delay, let's actually show you how to set this up to work on your Retroid Pocket 2. Okay, for starters, you're going to need an input that's outside of your actual device. So you could use a Bluetooth mouse, or for me, I'm using an OTG port and then the USB on a keyboard mouse combo that I have laying around the house. So I'm using this OTG adapter here, and I'll leave a link if you don't have one, if you want to buy one. And then I'm just going to plug in my keyboard mouse adapter, and this automatically works. And basically, when you use the trackpad, it will show up as the mouse key. So what this means is you don't have to enable mouse mode in order to actually use a cursor. That allows you to stay within the button interface while still using a mouse. So download the Octopus app from the Google Play Store, and then you're going to want to add Among Us on there. So you also need to download that. Both of these are free. So once you have it added in the Octopus, you launch it through Octopus. You don't go and hit Among Us and try to launch it from your main interface. You actually have to go through and launch it through the Octopus app. So once it's running, just go ahead and go into like free play, somewhere that you can kind of see what the controls look like and move your character around. So I'm showing you here that the controls work. I can use the analog stick and I have all of these different keys mapped to buttons on the actual Retroid Pocket 2. Here I can push a button to make the map happen. I hit start, I can have the options come up, things like that. So it's really kind of neat. You know, I'm able to basically mimic a touchscreen interface using the buttons themselves. It's not perfect. You actually have to go into mouse mode every once in a while, and I'll show you how that works. But in general, so let's talk through how to actually do this. Up at the top of the screen, you'll see there's a little bit of a octopus head kind of peeking out right there. So you click on that, and then you can hit the plus icon to add buttons to it. And I've already mapped all these. You can see there's little kind of grid overlays on each of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and reset everything, go back to square one. That way you can see me do it from the beginning. So first things first, you know, you can pick your left analog stick here, and then you move it over to where the joystick part is. And then you're going to want to resize it so that it fits perfectly within there. So you just use the resize button there. And again, you can use this with a Bluetooth mouse. You don't have to use the OTG adapter like I am. It really is up to you. And then there's a key button. So you move the key button over, and then you put it wherever you want it to be, and then you assign the key to whatever you want it to be. So for this, for the start menu, I want the start button to work, basically. The next one we'll go over, and we'll drag it over. And so for the map, I like to use X for the map. So you can go ahead and just hit X. And so on and so forth. So I'm just going to keep doing this for the rest of the buttons here. And this works with any game. So this works not just with Among Us. If you have any touch-based games you really want to try out, this is a great way to experiment and see if they work. And then I'll use the right trigger for that last one. Okay, so you're basically done at this point. You just hit that and then hit the check mark. And let's get into the gameplay and let me show you how this works. So you don't need this anymore once you have the inputs put in. And yeah, there you go. You're moving around. You can use those buttons that you've assigned. It just works like any other game. You know, there's some people who complain about lag on certain games, but for the most part, this actually played beautifully. I was playing online multiplayer, no lags. It was a pretty incredible experience for being a free app as well as a free game and playing online multiplayer in one of the most popular games out right now. Honestly, I really think of the Retroid Pocket 2 as like a retro game emulation device, but this kind of proves me wrong, right? The fact that we're able to take a modern game that everyone's playing right now and play it on a device that's dedicated for playing games, and it looks beautiful on the screen as well. It's just kind of really fun, you know, it's a really neat thing, and to do it all for free is just kind of awesome as well. I never really thought that, you know, in 2020 we'd be able to play online multiplayer games on a device that costs less than $100. It's really kind of neat. Okay, so let's try adding a different game and see if we can try something besides Among Us here. So let's open up the Octopus again. We'll add the keyboard again so that we can use the mouse mode. And then we'll select Add Games here. Now I've already installed another game here, and so I want to see if that one will work here. It's another popular game. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try to add Mobile Legends and see if this works. And I've never played this game before, but I know it's very popular, so I'm going to try it out here. And you can see here there's an error. It basically says that Octopus users have been banned from this app, basically probably because maybe they have an upper hand in having all these buttons right then and there. I'm not really sure. Either way, it's kind of disappointing this game doesn't work, but I encourage you to try out your favorite touchscreen games and see if they work with the Retroid Pocket 2. So let's jump back into the gameplay. Let me show you what I'm talking about, where you have to use mouse mode every once in a while. So when it comes to actually navigating around, and here's me in a multiplayer game, I can do everything, as needed with the buttons, but when you get into these interfaces, I have to push that download button, and I can't push that download button. I have to go into mouse mode and then push it. The nice thing is once you finish a task like this, it doesn't require mouse mode anymore. It closes the window. So you can get out of mouse mode right then and now if you wanted to. Yeah, so that's basically it. In this game in particular, that's really your only holdup, is that it's a little bit slower when it comes to actually going into the menu and selecting the button you're supposed to push. But other than that, it controls really well. Like, I was really surprised at how well it controls. No lag or anything else like that. So one other downside is that you're not able to chat. Everyone else is using their on-screen keyboard to type in this text, and you could essentially do that in mouse mode, but it's a little awkward. So, unless you want to actually plug in an OTG keyboard to do the typing part, that may be something that you're just going to have to suffer through, and that you're not going to be able to chat quickly like everybody else. Alright, so that's it for this video, real down and dirty. I just wanted to show you the potential that you have with this Octopus app to play any game, and I think Among Us is a perfect example of how this all works, where you have a touchscreen based game that you're able to play on a Retroid Pocket 2. It's pretty amazing just seeing this work, and I'm really happy to share this with you. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you like this. I'm going to have a lot more Retroid Pocket 2 videos coming out in the future. I've been playing around a lot with the RG351 lately, but I do want to spend time with this Retroid Pocket 2 and really kind of show you some neat things you can do with this device. But in the meantime, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Happy gaming.